All right, today we're going to break down a pretty fascinating and, honestly, kind of revolutionary idea in health, the sardine fast.
You know, when you hear the word fasting, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For most of us, it's hunger, right? It's struggle. It's this constant battle of willpower. But what if it didn't have to be like that?
And that's the wild idea we're diving into today. A fast that aims to give you all those amazing benefits, but you still get to eat. Yeah, you heard me right. Specifically, you're eating canned sardines. It sounds a little weird, I know, but trust me, you're going to want to hear this.
So where in the world did this idea come from? Well, it wasn't cooked up in some fancy lab. It was actually discovered by total accident, born out of pure necessity during an incredibly stressful time in one scholar's life.
Okay, so let me paint you a picture. This is Dr. Agostino. He's a young academic, he's buried under a mountain of work, and he's pushing hard for tenure. He is so busy, he's practically living in his office. There is zero time to cook, let alone think about what a balanced meal even looks like.
His solution? It was simple. A case of canned sardines he kept stashed in his office, not because he was some huge fan, but just because they were easy and fast. But then, something totally unexpected started happening. On the days where he ate nothing but those sardines, his brain just lit up. His focus, his mental clarity, it went through the roof. It was this powerful, unintentional experiment.
And that brings us to the million-dollar question, right? Why sardines? What is the secret sauce in this tiny little fish that could have such a massive effect? Dr. Agostino himself actually calls it almost the perfect food.
The secret isn't some kind of magic. It's pure science. And the key concept, the thing you really need to understand, is called micronutrient density. It's not just about how many calories you're eating. It's about what's packed inside every single one of those calories.
Think about it like this. Picture 100 calories. On one side, you've got a sugary soda. Sure, it's 100 calories of pure fuel, but it's completely empty of anything your body actually needs to build and repair itself. On the other side, you have 100 calories of sardines, which are just jam-packed with omega-3s, vitamin D, calcium, all the essential materials your body is literally screaming for.
And this, right here, this is the absolute core of the whole idea. We've been trained to think that hunger is just a cry for fuel, for energy. But way more often, it's actually a cry for materials. It's the difference between your car running out of gas versus your car needing oil and cooling and brake fluid to actually work properly.
So here's the hack. The sardine fast works by flooding your body with this super concentrated dose of high-quality materials. And when your body finally gets what it's been asking for, that deep, nagging hunger signal, it just quiets down. It's satisfied, even on way fewer calories. You're essentially outsmarting your own hunger signals.
Okay, the theory is cool, right? But what about the proof? Let's get into the hard data, because Dr. Agostino's blood work after doing this for over 15 years is, well, it's pretty astonishing.
First off, let's look at his omega-3 index. These are those super powerful anti-inflammatory fats you always hear about. Now, get this, without taking a single fish oil supplement, his levels were so high they literally maxed out the lab's report. They couldn't even measure them properly. That points to a body that's just constantly fighting inflammation.
But this next number is the real kicker. His HSCRP. This is a huge marker for chronic inflammation in the body. It consistently measures at 0.1. To be clear, that is so low it's considered almost undetectable. Let's just put that number into context for a second. For HSCRP, a level below 1.0 is considered ideal. Anything under 0.3 is excellent. A score of 0.1, that's in a totally different league. We're talking about a body with virtually zero chronic inflammation, which is tied to so many of the diseases we face today.
So yeah, the results are pretty compelling. And if you're curious about how you would actually do something like this, you have to know that the details matter a lot. You can't just grab any old can of sardines off the shelf. So let's talk strategy.
There are 3 non-negotiable rules here. First, the oil is everything. They absolutely must be packed in extra virgin olive oil to avoid the bad stuff. Second, you have to eat the whole fish, skin, bones, everything. The bones are super soft and they're loaded with calcium, and the skin is full of collagen. And third, the brand matters. Go for reputable brands. They care about quality.
But what if you just cannot stand sardines? Hey, no worries. The principle of micronutrient density is the most important part. Herring is a fantastic alternative.
High-quality eggs, especially those rich yolks, are another powerhouse. And hey, if you're feeling adventurous, animal liver is called nature's multivitamin for a very good reason. And you have to hear this story because it just proves this isn't about deprivation. Dr. Agostino tried an egg-only fast and had to quit after just 2 days. Why? Because his energy levels were so insanely high that he couldn't even sleep. He said he felt like he'd been set on fire. See? You're not starving your body, you're fueling it in a completely different way.
Now, it's so important to understand that this is not just about a 3-day quick fix. The real point here is to use this as a tool. Think of it like taking your metabolism to the gym for a really intense training session.
The best analogy I've heard for this is a hybrid car. Most of us, most of the time, are running on carbs. That's the gasoline. This fast is like a training program that teaches your body to get incredibly good at switching over to its other power source, your own stored body fat. That's the electric battery. And that skill, the ability to switch between fuels efficiently, has a name. It's called metabolic flexibility. The more flexible your metabolism is, the more stable your energy will be, the clearer your mind will feel, and the better your health will be in the long run. Every fast you do makes that switch a little bit smoother. And when you compare this to a traditional straight-up water-only fast, you see some really huge advantages. The hunger is way more manageable, the protein and omega-3s help protect you from losing muscle, and because you're giving your body all those amazing materials, the stress response is much lower. Let's be honest, the psychological hurdle is just way, way lower for most people. So if there's one thing to take away, it's this. You're not just restricting, you are training. With every single session, your body gets a little smarter, a little stronger, and a little more resilient. You're building a better, more efficient engine for the rest of your life.
And that leaves us with one last big idea to chew on. This whole principle of using short, focused, super high-quality bursts of effort to create a state of long-term ease and efficiency, where else in your life could that apply? In how you learn, how you work, maybe even in your relationships. It's a powerful idea that goes way beyond just what's on your plate.